trailers full of women.
Goat's milk latte drinking.
There you go again.
Please clap.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
A what now?
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
Where my banana scissors?
That's a banana republic without the banana.
Who am I? Why am I here?
Are you a racist?
He's a jackass.
Pokemon go to the polls.
They know one thing. I hate rats.
Well, I'm not a crook.
I grew up castrating hogs.
4 glorious years, I guess.
Vote to confirm a ham sandwich.
Ooh, don't do it.
Still like beer?
20-foot impressive seahorse he's riding.
Correct. It's too damn hot.
What do you say icon guy?
Icon.
You can't. Girlfriend, you were so on.
I have the ability to turn people on.
Sashay down there and vote for this amendment are officially weird.
From one year to the next, all the same?
YouTube, welcome to the Keith Edwards Show Live. I am so grateful that you are here. Let's get some music going because it is Friday night and we are here live. And can you believe it? We got through another goddamn week of Donald Trump and his insanity. He backed down from the tariffs as we all knew he would because he has no plan. He has no plan. And I am so grateful you are here with us because we do have a plan. And the plan is to make Donald Trump hurt every single day that we can. And wow, thank you. We got Arizona in the house. I'm seeing some blue hearts. I have some updates for all of you. Let's do some housekeeping real fast. Can you believe that we now have, if you are a member of the channel, we have created new emojis on the channel. I don't know if there's any members on the channel here, but we have a Zuki emoji. We have a blue heart emoji. We have a tomato emoji for tomato time. We have a new American flag emoji, and we have a W emoji. All brand new. We're trying to make sure that this live stream is as great as possible. And so, especially for the members, we want to make sure that you feel good and understood. And I believe, I don't know if Krista is on, but Krista, I remember Krista like a couple of months ago, you're like, we need new emojis. Well, we did it. We got new emojis. And so if you're a member of the channel, you can go ahead and use those. Okay. And then also the voicemail. I want to say that I am so grateful all of you are calling in and leaving voicemails. What is the voicemail number? Hussein, it is 202-810-4379, 202-810-4379. If you are mad, if you're upset, if you're concerned, if you're, I don't know, perhaps you are happy. Maybe you are a Trump supporter and you want to give me a piece of your mind. Call it in, 202-810-4379. Now, I do listen to every single voicemail. We don't have enough time to put them all up there. And sometimes some of you are so nice. You don't even ask a question. You just comment and say how much you love the show. And that means so much. But we have to try to get as much of these. We only have a few amount that we can do for each episode. So that is the house cleaning for today. And let's get into this poll. We have a poll where I don't know if you saw this. That's Governor Whitmer, the Democratic governor from Michigan. And look at this. Who's that? Donald Trump and Governor Whitmer. So today's poll is this. Do you think it was okay for Governor Whitmer to go to the Oval Office? Do you think it was? I will give you my opinion at the end of the show, but I want to know what you think. So we're putting a poll up. Producer Hussein is on it, and we will give you the results at the end of the show. Okay, and then we have a new segment. I'm so excited about this. Pop quiz. We have a pop quiz. Shall we go to? We have a new graphic for it. Very exciting. Pop quiz graphic incoming. We'll get better at that. But that is, let's do it one more time. Pop quiz. Yeah, awesome. There it is. Okay. So we have a pop quiz for you. Here is the question. After 4 years, how much will taxpayer have paid for Trump's golf trips? Now the answers are A, $150 million, B, $500 million, C, $370 million, or D, $700 million. Now, you might be asking, well, who cares if I win or not? Who cares if I win? Put your answers in, because we are going to select one person who gets it right, and they are going to be sent a free democracy hat. A free democracy hat. So we will answer that at the end of the show. So producer Hussein is going to collect all the people who answer correctly. At the end of the show, we will select a winner, and then we will send you over a democracy hat. Okay. Now, let's go into this first segment. Actually, I know this isn't actually, Hussein, I know this isn't part of the order. I just want to go to this first. Can we just go to Caroline Levitt? Can we just go to her video? Because Caroline Levitt, I don't know how she didn't explode before doing this. Because let's just see it. Because she prayed before she prayed before she was about to lie to the American people.
Lord Jesus, please give us the strength, the knowledge, the ability to articulate our words, have fun, and be confident in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay.
Amen. I swear to God, she should have been struck down by lightning. She should have been struck down by lightning. That woman does nothing but lie. She is anti-Christian. She is anti-Christian. What's up, Joyce? Joyce says, what's up, Keith? Hey, Joyce. So grateful you're here. All right, let's go to this main story, because I think what we have learned from this past week is there's a reason why our system has checks and balances. There's a reason why our founding fathers, when they created this country, said they never want to have a king again, because when you have one person who has all of the power, you get chaos, people become poorer, and things run less efficiently, to be completely honest. Now, I'm explaining this not as well as the person who I want to show you next, who's Ann Applebaum, who was on MSNBC. And she really broke it all down, like why democracy works, why authoritarianism doesn't. Let's see the clip.
In the last 48 hours, Donald Trump has given us pitch-perfect demonstration of why legislatures are necessary, why checks and balances are useful, and why most one-man dictatorships become poor and corrupt. If the Republican Party does not return Congress to the role it is meant to play and the courts don't constrain the president, this cycle of destruction will continue, and everyone on the planet will pay the price. This is so central today, right now. The power over tariffs actually rests with Congress. And as the president is on a quick elevator down from 40, to 41%, 40% and below that on his tariff policy specifically, it is the moment to do exactly what you argue.
I think the spectacle of a single person whimsically making decisions about how many tariffs to put on every single country on the planet, including some that weren't inhabited, maintaining for many days that this was a permanent policy designed to bring back manufacturing to America, and then rapidly shifting and claiming that it was the art of the deal to suddenly lift tariffs. And as you just heard Senator Schiff say, maybe tip off people that he was about to do that along the way. I mean, I think if that doesn't make people question how so much power is in the hands of one person, then I don't know what will. This is not how our Constitution was supposed to work. The people who wrote it were people who had lived under the arbitrary rule of a king. They were trying to create a political system that was decisive and strong, but that also had checks and balances and controls on the executive. They very deliberately designed it so that Congress would also have powers and the courts would also have powers. Since then, we've developed other mechanisms inside the executive, offices of ethics and inspectors general, all of which Donald Trump has also dissolved. All of those things are supposed to control and examine the executive so that it doesn't become corrupt, so that it's not immense powers aren't at the hands of one man. And if, really, this is now high time.
Man, I got to tell you, Anne Applebaum, I don't know if you all know her. She is a writer for The Atlantic. I hope one day she will come on this show because I think she is one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to not only understanding authoritarianism and how it rises from nothing into where it is today in this country, but also how to combat it. But I think one of the ways we are going to combat this authoritarian string in our country is by making sure that people understand that authoritarianism means chaos. It means the stock market going up and down at the whims of someone else. And by the way, the tariffs are not supposed to be controlled by the president. They're not to be controlled by the president. Linda says, we are not a dictatorship. Twice impeached convicted felons should let Congress do the job of money control. Yes, exactly. Not so. Supreme Court gave this terrible president too much power. Yes, the president has way too much power. And we're seeing what happens when there is a concentration of power at the top. And Donald Trump is not, he's controlling the markets. He's also controlling really pettily who gets to be displayed in the White House. And this is really this pissed me off. Trump boots Obama's portrait from prominent White House spot, replaces it with assassination attempt photo. I'm just going to let you take that in. Donald Trump removed let me show you the original. This very beautiful original portrait. It looks like a picture, or it looks like an actual photograph. Donald Trump removed it because he's a petty little bitch. And he put in this stupid fucking photo. This is what he's spending his time with? Stuff like this? Do you think anyone else made this decision but him? Now, I want to bring on producer Hussein, who you have not seen before. Producer Hussein's always in the background, but I wanted producer Hussein to come on because this pissed him off too. He actually was working for Joe Biden's previous Joe Biden's administration in the White House. And so he can explain to us how weird this is. Producer Hussein, say hello to the Keith Edwards Show community.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Yeah, this was really annoying. I spent a lot of time over here in the East Wing. And the thing is that whole section of the East Wing is just a bunch of presidential portraits, which are usually presented by like the current president about a past president. And it's like a very nice and like really like honoring occasion. And it's just kind of crazy that like this is where the Obama portrait was. Across the hall from him is the Bush portrait. Like, it's not meant to be a self-serving thing. It's very much like supposed to be a historical wing where everybody like looks at like what this great house has brought. And so it's not surprising, I guess, that Donald Trump likes to get rid of every bit of tradition that like belongs to the United States and curve it in a way that just serves himself.
Yeah, and I think, didn't you say that like it's just not normal for a president who is actually currently president to put up a photo of himself there? Is that what you said?
Yeah, there's no portraits of current presidents up anywhere in the White House. Like, it's always been that it's like a tradition of like the current president showing an older president's portrait out. Like, Biden brought out the Obama portraits. So it's like a very strange thing for Trump to do this for himself. But like also Trump would do something like this for himself.
Oh, man. Well, I personally just think it's so petty and it's bullshit. But like you said, this is who Trump is, you know. And I am just like guffawed. Is that a word? Guffawed that he would do this. But though I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, it's just our norms and traditions getting erased all the time.
Just that. Here they go again.
Yep.
All right, Producer Hussein, thank you for that amazing insight because I've always been a fantasy of mine for the work for the White House, and you're so lucky to have done that, and it means that you just know so much of this history and how this all works. So thanks for sharing that insight a little bit with the audience, and thank you for all the producing you do and making this show run as well as you do.
No problem. I'm going to go back into the background now and just look at everybody's comments. So ask away and say nice things, everybody, okay? Because I'm reading. Okay.
He does read them all. He reads them all. All right, bye, Hussein. All right. Now, I'm really excited by this next guest. We have a Rep. Stephen Horsford, who is coming on the show right now. Now, you might not have seen this, but and maybe you did. It went super viral last week or this past week, where I mean, you could not write this better. You could not write this better. The rep was just getting ready to grill the person who's supposedly in charge of the tariffs. Okay. And what happened was that Trump removed the tariffs minutes before Rep. Horsford was about to speak to him and ask him questions. This man did not know, Greer did not know that this had happened. And it was just an amazing, amazing moment. Let's just see a bit of that.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago.
Sitting here
under discussion.
Sitting here under discussion. So did you know that that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President
details of the
Congress.
pause? Excuse me? China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked. What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
Well, the details, as I understand it, is that China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate. The president 2 or 3 days ago said we wanted to negotiate with those countries that asked for meetings. That's what we're doing.
What are the
We've had
details?
discussions.
How long is the pause? How many days? How many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've
So
been in
the
this
trade
hearing.
representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've
And
just
yet
been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
Yeah, amazing moment. And so I'm so grateful that Rep. Horsford is here right now to talk to us about this moment. Okay, I'm just gonna hit end recording. Just changed. Thank you so much for joining. I have so many questions about what happened with this hearing, and I guess the audience just saw that viral moment. And how did you come to find out? Because you're in the middle of grilling this guy, and how did you come to find out that Trump had totally just changed his position on tariffs?
So, kind of to provide a little backdrop, I went into the hearing really expecting to talk about the impact of these tariffs on tourism. I represent Las Vegas. We've already seen a drop in the number of international travelers as a result of these erratic policies and approach. And minutes before it was my time to question the trade representative, the post by the president was made. I was made aware. I literally watched as the staff for the trade representative came to the witness stand to notify him. I could see the shock on his face. And I had, I think, a mere 2 or 3 minutes to prepare for how I would pivot from what I planned to talk about, which was tariffs and its impact on Nevada, to how this unfolding event was happening right before us, and what I would do to ask questions of the trade representative who should have been advising the president throughout this process.
I guess when I heard about this and I knew you were going to come on the show, the thing I wanted to know immediately is like, what is going through your mind for those 2 minutes when you realize, all right, we've got this guy because he's straight up lying to us for the past 2 hours. Like, you have him red-handed, and what is going through your head during those 2 minutes before you're about to like lay into him?
Well, if I can be frank, I said WTF in the hearing, but it was what the fuck.
Yeah. I love that we're swearing now, by the way. I love that Democrats are swearing.
Well, I'm like, are you really kidding me right now?
Yeah.
And then initially I just wanted to get him on the record about what he knew about this pause, to understand how long it was, who the tariffs applied to, who they didn't. And as he's responding to me, I'm realizing, oh, this guy knows nothing about what's happening. Literally, the president pulled the rug out under him. And for a moment, I was a little empathetic for him. But then I'm like, oh no, people got screwed over the last 5 days at that point. They've lost their retirement. They're losing their savings. I had constituents calling me, talking about how much uncertainty this is causing them. And then I'm like, it made me enraged that this administration could be so reckless, and that the president could care so little that he even sent his trade representative and pulled the rug up under him at the same time. But then I'm like, well, I don't really care about this trade rep guy. I care about the people that I'm here to represent and fight for. And so my questions turned into concern, turned into rage. And then I asked the question, was this market manipulation? And I literally could tell from his tone and his demeanor that I had tapped into something that was real. And now it is very apparent that this was a plan to make billionaires rich and to screw all the rest of America, all the rest of us.
So that is your opinion on this, is that Donald Trump did the tariffs knowing the economy was going to crash, or at least the stock market was going to crash, and that he would always rescind them, but he would tip off his friends ahead of time. I mean, I think we have seen, there's like, I don't know, I'm not a stock person, but there's charts that show like the calls for that, like S&P 500, for instance, that happened 10 minutes before the tariff pause was announced. So there's definitely a lot of evidence there. But it is your suggestion, because of the way he was responding, that that's more likely than not what happened.
Well, what I do know is it's a game for Donald Trump, but it's real life for everybody else. You know, the stock market might be a game to rich people, but for the people who put their retirements and their savings, their health savings accounts, for those of us who have invested for our children's college and their future, to have all that put at risk for someone's game. And look, the facts are now proving themselves out. Bloomberg reported that billionaires made $300 billion in a day after he rescinded or issued the pause. Meanwhile, that's after trillions of dollars was lost for everybody else. They literally are gaming the system, but they're putting all of us at risk in the meantime. That's why just yesterday, my colleague, Representative Terry Sewell, and I, she's the ranking member of the Oversight Committee for Ways and Means, along with 131 of my other colleagues, issued a demand letter to the administration on this alleged market manipulation, to find out who knew what when, to get the documentations before they appear to be lost, and to get to the truth. Because somebody, if there was market manipulation, that is a crime, and there needs to be accountability regardless of who did it. I've heard members of Congress may have gotten information about this.
Respectfully, Representative, I guess I know a lot of the audience is a little fed up, because I kind of feel like between Merrick Garland and the original 2008 financial crash, where we bailed out the billionaires and the companies that fucked us all over, quite frankly, it just is like, all right, well then it's all so well and good, but I would really love to see someone actually, a lot of people actually get, if this has happened, to get in trouble. It is a huge crime. I'm thinking about the 65-year-old mom who doesn't have the stomach for volatility in her 401k and pulled it out, only for it to go back up. And she's probably lost, a large percentage of her retirement. Meanwhile, billionaires are the ones who are making gains from this. And so it sounds all well and good that we want to prosecute, but like how? Because Merrick Garland had everything he possibly could have had to go after Donald Trump, and he chose not to. So do you think it's like 2028, we have to just nominate a president who's like, listen, we are going to get these crooks immediately when I get into office? Or is there something we can do beforehand?
We have to do something beforehand. I get the long game, and 2028 is absolutely the long game. But in the immediacy, you cannot let people get away with committing crimes in the broad daylight. I mean, literally, he posted at 9:37 a.m. Go by, and then his trade representative starts testifying before our committee at 10 o'clock. He's defending their actions for hours. And then in the middle of that, they come out and say there's a pause. Now, the pause is not actually a pause on all the tariffs. There's still actually a lot of tariffs that are being imposed. But the bottom line, as you said, is people are fed up. The system is broken. It's not working for us, but it's working for billionaires just fine. And that is what I think the moment does require. And this is not even about politics. This is about the moment that we're in and what we're willing to fight for. So no, I'm not willing to turn another eye at this. I am looking to get the facts, to make sure that we know who knew what when, and to get the documentation, and to allow that to go wherever it goes, and to hold anyone and everyone accountable in the process.
Well, the silver lining is these are not sophisticated people. So I am sure if they committed crimes, they did it in places where we can find it very easily. I mean, these are folks who are making war plans on Signal. So I do not doubt that if you go looking, you're going to find a wealth of evidence. So I just got to say,
top of it, it's also on top of, this is at the very same time, Keith, that they advanced the budget plan, which I call the Screw America bill, to also give more tax cuts to billionaires, not permanent tax cuts to moms and dads, not to small businesses. That's not who they're giving tax cuts to. So yes, they do have a coordinated strategy, and I believe these tariffs were a part of it. It's part of what I was trying to get on the record, and why I became a bit enraged at the moment about it, because I started to see, oh, this is also part of the master plan. And it's a part of market manipulation is about stoking the markets, but stoking it for who? Stoking it for Donald Trump and his billionaire friends at the expense of all of us. And now they're going to advance a budget that further screws America, that cuts taxes permanently for billionaires and big corporations, but then cuts healthcare, cuts nutrition programs, cuts housing for people here in Nevada and across the country. Like, that's the shit that really has me bothered, and why it is imperative that we speak up, that we use our voice, that people organize, that we hold everyone accountable on both sides of the aisle, and that we don't turn a blind eye, whether it's Donald Trump or members of Congress.
Well, I will speak for everyone when I'm saying I'm grateful we have fighters like you on our side, because we need them. Keep swearing, keep getting loud. We need as much righteous indignation as possible. So thanks for joining, and I hope you'll come on again.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much to the rep for coming up. That was such an important interview. Rep Stephen Horsford. Really, I'm so I don't know if y'all are spiritual or if you're religious or whatever, believe in the universal energy, but I believe that someone, somewhere, something put him in that moment at that place, because he is exactly who we needed to make sure that people understood the severity of what was happening and the insanity of what was happening. Because if not for that viral moment, maybe we never would have known. We never would have known that Donald Trump is just I mean, I guess we sort of would have known that he's just kind of making this all up, but to see it so starkly like that his own official, who's supposedly in charge of the tariffs, didn't even know that the tariffs were removed. So it's an amazing man, and I'm grateful that he came on the show. Okay, so we have one voicemail, and we're going a little long today, so please stick around. We have one voicemail, and then we're going to get to the poll, and then we're going to answer the pop quiz. But first, let's do this voicemail.
Amy, I have a grave concern
Hold on. Hussein, let's pause. We have a new voicemail title card. Let's see that one more time. Woo! Yeah. Production. Okay, let's go back.
Hi, Keith. This is Amy. I have a grave concern right now that a bunch of people want to go to D.C. on the, quote, June 14th parade. So, military parade. But it's actually the anniversary of the Army. So it's not actually for him. But as you know, he'll take credit for it. So if you could encourage tomorrow night, potentially, I don't want to run your show for you, but if you could potentially just throw that in and say, hey, why don't we go? Because I've been posting all evening about saying, hey, why don't you go? Why don't you not go? But, of course, people can go if they want to, but this is just up to you, of course. I don't want to tell you how to run your show. I will be tuning in on Tuesdays and Friday nights just so I can have an attitude change and be happy, okay? So anyway, thank you for your consideration, and I will be watching on Tuesdays and Fridays. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Well, you did a great job promoting the fact that we're on live Tuesdays and Fridays, every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for doing that. And I guess I'll ask the chat, like, what you all think. Like, should we go to this military parade that is for the Army? I guess I understand the push and pull of this because you want to support our troops, but at the same time, Donald Trump is going to make it about him. I don't think it's going to be unsafe if that is your worry, but I think I personally, knowing what Donald Trump is going to make that, it's not going to be about the troops. It's going to be about Trump. So there are other ways that you can support our military and our army. And I think one of the ways that we can support them is by not giving Donald Trump what he wants and making that event as lowly attended as possible. So don't go. It looks like the chat's saying don't go, don't go, don't go. So there you go. There is your answer. Do not go. Do not go. Okay, let's get to that poll. All right, I can't see the poll, but Hussein is going to tell me what the poll results were on whether or not Gretchen Whitmer should have been in the Oval Office. Okay, it's 900 votes. 1/3 of you said she did the right thing, and 2/3 of you said she did not do the right thing. And I gotta say, you're not gonna like this. I kind of agree with the 1/3 because she's not a senator. She's not a member of Congress. She's representing a state. She has to be there. She has to make sure she's got to play the game, unfortunately, to make sure that her state isn't negatively impacted by Donald Trump, who we just saw is a piece of shit who will remove someone's portrait. Do you think he'll stop from getting funding for the Great Lakes state where I'm from, originally from Michigan? So I think she kind of has to be there. Do I like that she was there? No, of course not. I hate that. I hate that she was there and she has to do all of this. But I think to me, it proves that she's a real leader, that she's willing to suck it up and be in the Oval Office and suck up to him, which is what's required by anyone that wants to get favors from Donald Trump. He is someone who trades on niceties. And so if it means that she's representing her state and she's making sure that the people of her state are going to be be better served, then I think I'm all for it. You know, I don't like that she was there, but I understand. Okay. So, okay, now let's get to the pop quiz. All right, pop quiz. What was the question again? Let's put up that music again. Pop quiz question. how much will taxpayers pay for Trump's golf trips? All right. And this is for the democracy hat. A, $150 million. B, $500 million. C, $370 million. D, $700 million. And the answer is B, $500 million. B, $500 million. Turns out A is actually how much he spent last time. And I believe that's almost as much as we have spent on Ukraine. So we could either fight Ukraine or send Donald Trump to his golf trips every fucking weekend. All right, and so the winner of the first ever Keith Edwards Show pop quiz is Kate. That's so loud. Is Kate Peterson, who said B. Now, Kate, here's what we need you to do. We need you. Okay, so there's two things you can do. You can either message me on Instagram. My Instagram is my name, Keith Edwards, or you can text the number. Where is the number? You can text the number, which is 202-810-4379 with your email address. I will connect you with Hussein and we will get your information. We will send you a hat. So I'm hoping that Kate Peterson is still here, and congratulations on winning the first ever Keith Edwards Show pop quiz. We're trying to keep the show alive and active. We're trying to do different things. But again, Kate, if you are still on, then you are correct. You won. And congratulations. And I want to say, Kaylee, I don't think you were on when I mentioned this. Kaylee, we have new emojis. And I know you actually said you wanted new emojis, and we have them now. So there you go. There are new emojis. You got Zuki, we got flags, we got a democracy hat, we've got a W for win. We have a blue heart and tomato. So please, if you're a member of the channel, enjoy that. And thank you all so much for watching. This has been a great show. I appreciate you all spending your Friday evening a little bit with me. And I tell you what, community is the best way to get through tough times. And thank you all for providing a community for me and for each other. And I will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. where we are having Congressman Robert Garcia on of California. Congressman Robert Garcia next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you then. And thank you all for watching. And Kate, DM me, girl. DM me. Okay, bye.